Breaking the Wall of AI Language Learning. Richard Marques Monteiro, University of Cambridge.
Suppose you're trying to learn a new language. You probably are aware of the few areas you need to be working on in order to achieve this. But there's a lot of choice in how you can proceed to do this task in this day and age. But you decide to go for the famous thing everyone's talking about that probably has the ability of helping in every single one of these areas, ChatGPT. So you type of large language model, of course. You go into ChatGPT, you log in, and maybe ask it a very basic question like, oh, teach me some basic Japanese. And more likely than not, the answer you're going to get is going to be some very basic thing that's probably unhelpful. And the problem here does not lie with ChatGPT itself. It lies with the problem of prompt engineering. You need to ask it the right question to get the right answer. But in order to find the right question, you probably have to understand how ChatGPT works, which is a really hard problem. And it will involve a very iterative process of asking questions and changing your answer here and there. But there's a bigger problem. If you're a beginner in language learning, how do you even know what the right question to ask is? You don't even know how to learn the language yourself. So, as an avid language learner myself, solving this problem is kind of my passion project. And I really believe that learning languages is a pathway to connecting the world together, learning cultures, sharing opinions. And to solve this, I asked a basic question. What if we use ChatGPT to generate the prompt from ChatGPT? It's a text generator. Why can we do that? Well, going a bit further in the issue, to actually simplify this, we need something that's basic, simple, fast, efficient. And for that, my idea is to use some kind of small controller device, which is like a smaller version of ChatGPT, that can generate a full prompt for ChatGPT just based on a simple prompt given by the user. You're pretty much putting all the work done by the user into some kind of automatic device that you can use to generate any kind of prompt in a very modular way. That can see the response from ChatGPT and update itself, but I feel like it's really easy to train as well. You just have a bunch of data, and you can choose some error function that can kind of measure like how good the language learning is. But the really important thing is that ChatGPT doesn't actually have a good memory. It's a very implicit thing. And so in order to improve this model further, we decided to implement some kind of long-term memory that kind of allows the system to adapt to the user. It knows what words they know. It knows what they're learning every day. So yes, this is a very hard problem to solve, especially what architecture we're going to use and everything else. But I'm very glad to have the help from the Click language people to help me actually solve this problem. And we're very looking forward to solving this issue together and connect the world together, break these frontiers, break these walls. So yeah, thank you very much. Any questions?
Questions?
So where exactly in this model does the learning happen?
Well, the learning happens by training that special controller in itself. This is kind of inspired from feedback control engineering, where you just get some data of good prompts, bad prompts, let the thing learn itself, and then play it into ChatGPT, and it kind of updates that feedback. And so you just train a large language model as you do usually.
Don't you think you would require human moderators to verify what is right kind of prompt and what is wrong kind of prompt?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, actually just finding out what good prompt is the job of that's one word you click, kind of find out what good language learning is, so that you can create that. But as soon as you give it to the actual person, they don't need to care about what good prompt is. Yeah.
How do you quantify good learning?
See, that is a very good question. Very good question. Most people don't know. And so we have to develop some kind of idea in order to measure that. So we can do it. Anyway, thank you.